कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हो हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हो हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हो हरे राम 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 हरे हरे हो कृष्णा 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे हो राम 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 हो हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हो हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे गंगे 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 हो जय मां गंगे जय मां गंगे जय मां गंगे जय मां गंगे हो गंगे 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 मां हो जय मां गंगे जय मां गंगे जय मां गंगे जय मां गंगे हो गंगे 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 हो हर हर गंगे हर हर गंगे हर हर गंगे हो हर हर गंगे 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 मां 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 हे 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 हे माँ।
बोले सर्वेश्वर भगवान
की जय,
गंगा मैया
की जय,
भारत माता
की जय,
धरती माता
माता की जय।
हर हर
कर्पूर गौरम करुणावतारम
अवतारम संसार सारम
भुजगेन्द्रहारम सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं
भवानी सहितं नमामि, भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि, भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि।
जय गंगे माता
मैया जय गंगे माता, जो नर तुमको ध्याता, जो नर मैया जी को ध्याता, मनवांछित फल पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता।
चंद्र सी
ज्योत तुम्हारी,
जल निर्मल आता
मैया जल निर्मल आता। शरण पड़े जो तेरी, शरण पड़े जो तेरी, सोनर तर जाता। ओम जय गंगे माता। एक ही बार जो तेरे शरणागति आता, मैया शरणागति आता। यम के त्रास मिटा कर, यम के कष्ट मिटा कर, परम गति पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता। जय
गंगारिणी मैया तू है सुखदाता, मैया तू है सुखदाता। तेरी गोद में आकर, तेरी शरण में आकर, मन शांति पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता। आरती मात तुम्हारी जो जन निज गाता, मैया प्रेम सहज गाता। दास वही है सहज में, भक्त वही है सहज में, मुक्ति को पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता।
जय गंगे माता, जय गंगे माता।
How can we serve people without taking anything from them? If you take something from someone, it's called an exchange, or a deal, or a bargain, or business. I mean, there's a lot of different words that we use for the give and take of how most of the world works. In order for something to be real service, seva, as we say, not service like a waiter or a waitress in a restaurant, but seva, it has to be given without taking something from someone. Otherwise, we don't actually attain that which we're looking for in it. If I'm looking for something from you in my seva, whether it's that you're going to pay me for it, or even whether it's just that you're going to love me for it, or you're going to praise me for it, or you're going to, appreciate me, whatever it may be. If I'm looking for something in it, I actually miss the opportunity of what real seva is. If what I'm looking for is to get something back, then I might want to consider going into business, which is not a bad thing, by the way. It's not business is bad, or a deal is bad, or give and take is bad. It's how the world works. If I grow potatoes and I need rice and you grow rice, well, I'll give you a sack of potatoes, you give me a sack of rice, we're good. Nothing wrong with that. If I've got money and you've got apples and I want apples and you need money, I give you money, you give me apples, we're good. Again, nothing wrong with that. But you wouldn't consider any of that seva. When something is seva, service they say, but we say seva, it has to be from a place of that which I get. I get in the act of serving, which is a very subtle and very crucial distinction. In business, in bargaining, what I get from doing something is given to me by you. So either it's money, or it's potatoes, or it's apples, or it's love and appreciation, or it's a promotion, or whatever it is that I want. In seva, what I get out of it is actually the inner experience of serving. That inner experience of being a tool in God's hands. A lot of times people say to me, God, you left everything. You came from America, and people, they'll refer to me and say, oh, she's the one, she left everything, as though it were this huge sacrifice, as though I gave up happiness for unhappiness, and that was some great spiritual sacrifice, and I should be praised for it. And it's actually not like that at all. What I always try to explain is I've made, actually, and all of us make, the same choices that everyone makes. Whatever we do, we actually do it to be happy. If I get up every day and I go to the office and to a job that I hate to make money, well, I do that because on some level in my mind, I believe that money is going to make me happy. Whether it's because I'll be rich and then I'll feel happy, or I'm going to be able to buy something that will make me happy, or I will go on a vacation that will make me happy, or whatever it may be. Or I'm going to do it for you. Then you will love me. When you love me, I will feel happy. Again, it's all about my happiness. I will do it. You will appreciate me. You will praise me. Then I will feel happy. And it's important to remember here also, happiness is not bad. Happiness is a great goal. It's what motivates us to do whatever we do. Right after survivalism. As Puja Swamiji was saying on the Ghat, even a worm doesn't want to die. So our first instinct is we should survive. Our second instinct is we should be happy. So there's nothing wrong with looking for happiness. The difference between looking for it in, I'm going to make a lot of money, then I'm going to buy, a big monster truck and I'll be happy, versus I'm going to do seva and then be happy, is the level at which the happiness stays. But if we are looking for something in the service, I'm gonna win a humanitarian award. I'm gonna get a gold star. I'm gonna get this, whatever it may be. We're missing the opportunity for a happiness greater than what you get when you work for money or for potatoes or for apples. Because the happiness that comes in serving with absolutely no expectation of getting anything, including anyone's love, including anyone's praise, including anyone's appreciation, is that you have to find in the act of doing it itself, in the act of that selflessness itself, in the act of creating enough space around the ego that it's no longer the ego's game, that in that you find the happiness. So seva actually is very subtle. The happiness we get from it is not from what we actually get in return. It's not even in an enjoyment of what we're doing, because sometimes that's also a motivating factor that makes us happy. So maybe this job doesn't pay very well, but I love to do it. Thank God that's what motivates all of our amazing teachers in the world, right? I mean, tragically, the job of a teacher is one of the worst paid jobs in the world. But they do it because they enjoy it. So that in and of itself is its own reward. So that's somebody who isn't looking for happiness in the money, but is looking for happiness in the actual hour by hour job. But seva, again, gets more subtle. Because it may not even be something you enjoy. I don't know anybody who enjoys cleaning toilets, sweeping the floor. And in a lot of places, that's the service job that gets given. Certainly not something that in and of itself is enjoyable on any level. Folding envelopes, licking stamps. You know, I used to work for Greenpeace, and we went door to door knocking on people's doorsteps, trying to get them to donate money. In and of itself, not fun. But in the act of doing it, in the act of being this tool in God's hands, you actually get an experience of surrender that I don't think you can get anywhere else, which is why all of the scriptures and all of the spiritual teachings emphasize service, selfless service. And why, interestingly, in a lot of places, they make it things like cleaning the toilets. Because, if you're, like when I was knocking on doors for Greenpeace, for example, there's a part of the mind that at least can say, well, I'm doing something very important. Look, I'm saving the turtles. Look, I'm saving the dolphins. And the more important in quotes, the job feels, the more interestingly the ego actually can get in, and the more important it is for us to keep the ego out. Doesn't mean that we should not do important things and line up to clean toilets instead. All of the other tasks actually are what have to be done. Even more important than cleaning toilets. But from the perspective of our focus, our intention, we have to imagine that we are cleaning toilets, such that the ego of what I'm doing is important doesn't sink in. And this is where seva gives us that happiness on a much deeper level. Because once you've removed, not going to get paid for it, not going to expect praise or appreciation or love or anything from it, not even going to enjoy what you're doing, what are you left with? You're left with the space in which that joy of surrender, Joy of being the tool in God's hands is available, which it isn't available otherwise. And this is what Lord Krishna speaks about in the Bhagavad Gita over and over again in different ways about remember, you're not the doer. Just surrender. Just be a tool. This is what the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi gives us also. So it's not just this tradition. If you look at actually the heart deep, mystical, divinely connected traditions of so many different religions, you'll see different references to this concept of just being a tool in the divine's hands. O Lord, make me an instrument of thy mercy. An instrument, a tool. Not, O Lord, make me the CEO of the company that runs thy mercy. O Lord, make me be the most merciful so that I'm the one who gets the trophy for mercy. O Lord, let me be an instrument, a vehicle, a tool of thy mercy. So this is what service offers us, which is why it's essential that we not take from someone. Should you get a smile? Should you get love? Fantastic. But then be sure to give that also. So somebody gives you love, give them love. Not, I'm taking this love as in exchange for what I've done. Oh, we've built you a school, now you get to love me, great, we're even. No. We've built you a school for the opportunity to perform service. Oh, you're hugging me? How beautiful. I get an opportunity to hug you too. Thank you for giving me 2 opportunities instead of just 1. I thought I only had an opportunity to build a school. Now I also have an opportunity to hug you. So it's not the hug or the love in exchange for what we've done. It's the hug and the love as perhaps sometimes on occasion, yet another opportunity to give something else back to people. Another hug, more love. So seva is the service that keeps giving. That just keeps giving until, as Puja Swamiji says, we learn to give like the sun or give like Ganga. Flowing, 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 shining, 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 with no hesitation and no vacation and no expectation and no discrimination. So that becomes ultimately, in his words, the goal of it.